The rain beat softly against the windows as Emily's husband, David, loaded his briefcase into the car. He was leaving for a 2-day business conference in another state. Turning to her with a protective smile, he said, "Sweetheart, why don't I drop you off at your parents' house on my way out? The estate gets so quiet at night, and I know how uneasy you get being here all by yourself." Emily smiled warmly, delighted by the thought of spending a couple of days in the cozy warmth of her childhood home. When she arrived, the front door was slightly ajar. Stepping inside, she found her elderly parents sitting at the small kitchen table. To her surprise, they were eating nothing but plain, dry toast and a small bowl of cheap broth. After greeting them with warm hugs, Emily looked at her father's plate with a puzzled frown. "Dad, since when do you eat like this? You used to always insist on a hearty dinner." Her father forced a gentle, reassuring smile as he took a slow bite. "Oh, you know how it is, Emily. As you get older, your tastes change. This is actually quite wonderful. I used to be far too picky in my younger days." But Emily wasn't fooled. She caught the fleeting look of sadness and helplessness buried deep within her father's eyes. Just then, her sister-in-law, Clara, walked into the hallway. Seeing Emily, Clara's face stiffened before she masked it with a tight, artificial smile. "Oh, Emily, what brings you here? Are you staying over?" "Yes, Clara," Emily replied happily. "David had to travel out of state for a couple of days, so he dropped me off." "I see," Clara muttered. "Well, make yourself at home. I'll go see about making some tea." Wanting to be helpful, Emily carried her parents' empty dishes to the kitchen sink. Deciding to check on Clara and offer her assistance, she walked down the hall toward the back room. But just as her hand reached out to knock on the door, the sharp, hushed voices of her brother Thomas and Clara drifted through the wood. "I can't believe your sister just shows up whenever she pleases," Clara, her voice dripping with resentment. "She's married now, yet she still acts like this house belongs to her. She just packs up and moves right back in whenever her husband is away." "Keep your voice down, Clara," Thomas replied defensively, his voice strained. "She's my sister. This is her parents' home. Where else is she supposed to go?" "I am sick and tired of carrying the weight of this family," Clara hissed back. "I cook, I clean, and I put food on your parents' plates every day. They should consider that a favor. I don't have the energy to play hostess to your sister, too." Outside the door, Emily froze. The words pierced through her like shards of ice. The warmth of her childhood home vanished in an instant, replaced by a suffocating tightness in her chest. Her breath caught in her throat, and a profound numbness spread through her limbs. Turning on her heel, she quietly retraced her steps, swallowing the bitter tears that threatened to spill over. A few minutes later, Emily walked into the living room, holding her phone to her ear as if finishing a conversation. "Oh, right, you're already back? Okay, perfect," Emily said into the silent phone, pretending to speak to her mother-in-law. "If I had known you were coming back early, I wouldn't have bothered Mom and Dad. Don't worry at all, I'm heading back right now." Lowering the phone, Emily looked at her parents, who were watching her with confused expressions. "What happened, darling? You just got here," her mother asked gently. Emily forced the brightest smile she could muster, though her heart was breaking into pieces. "David's mother just arrived at our place unexpectedly, Mom. I can't leave her there alone. I have to head back right away. But I'll come visit again soon, I promise." Kissing her parents goodbye, Emily walked out of the house she grew up in, leaving behind the threshold that no longer felt like hers, comforting herself with the harsh reality of life. When a woman marries, she builds a new life. A daughter may always belong to her parents' hearts, but the physical home she leaves behind slowly changes. Parents remain a sanctuary of love, but as time moves on, their ability to protect their children from the shifting dynamics of a growing family fades away. That night, as Emily sat alone in her quiet kitchen, her dinner tasted incredibly bitter. It wasn't the food. It was the taste of her own silent tears slipping down her face. To every brother and every family member reading this, remember to treasure and protect your sisters. A sister visits her childhood home, seeking the familiar warmth of her parents and the security of her brothers. If the dynamics in your home begin to make her feel like a stranger or a burden, step in with kindness, wisdom, and strength. Guard her dignity, respect her place in the family, and ensure that the door to her past always remains open with genuine love.